beat, no ecstasy. Reality haunts the living mind. If I saw another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, thinking up about the same mistake. Darling, where you going? It won't be as simple for you.
Yo, guys. It is Old Man G here, back again with another match preview. This time it is Manchester United versus Leeds. And what is, well, a continuous stream of many games that Manchester United have to contend with. But before I get into it, if you are new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devils 2 Joe. Follow us on Instagram, smash the notification button. It's mentioning some more. I'm sorry it's late. I know there are a lot of other live streams going on and stuff like that. But I just want to get this preview out of the way. It's the only time I really have to get it out of the way. So yeah, there's a few things just to talk about with this upcoming game. It's going to be at 8 o'clock. I don't think it's going to be on the UK TV, which is a massive kick in the groin, if I'm perfectly honest. But it is what it is. But yeah, I think first things first, and shout out to obviously those who'll be watching later. So appreciate it, guys. But first things first, as part of the review, let me just quickly go into a bit of an injury update here, because from what Ten Hag has been saying, what Ten Hag's told the crew basically in the press conference, it's that it seems that Antony is actually injured, and this is on top of the fact that McTominay's injured. Obviously, we said that he's going to be out for a few weeks. Donny van der Beek and Eriksen are going to be out pretty much for effective the rest of the season. And Martial is also injured. So, as I've kind of said, and as I said sort of several times beforehand, one of the biggest issues with United and why I'm still not 100% sure the United will get top 4. I could be wrong, but one of the reasons why I'm not 100% sure that Manchester United will get top 4 is for the simple fact that we just have too many injuries, and we don't have the squad depth to compete. It was like this with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's season, Mourinho's, etc. In order to compete, you need squad depth. Arsenal went in the window, and Arsenal made several signings. Manchester United, on the other hand, did not. And I just think that it's frustrating, because I believe that Ten Hag is a brilliant coach. I think Ten Hag can deliver success. Abdul Mbaye, man, thank you for joining the stream, man. Anthony drilled himself into a hospital bed. Yeah, not ideal, buddy. Not ideal at all. It's not ideal that he did that. I mean, I just think that at the end of the day, Manchester. At the end of the day, we could do something special this season. There's still plenty of games to play this season, and we could do something special this season. But we're still in 4 competitions. But the hesitancy that I have is that with the injuries that we have, we just won't have it. You throw into the fact that Casemiro obviously got the red card. Whatever you say about it, I didn't do a match reaction because I was busy, So, but whatever you say, it's unfortunate, and we're now without Casemiro for 3 games. It's a 3-match ban. So, no Martial, no Casemiro, no Eriksen, no Van der Beek. and now no Antony, it makes sense as to why Eric Ten Hag wanted to hold on to players like Palestri. We're like, oh, what, Palestri should go on loan, and maybe Alanga, we don't need him. The reality is that if when we look at the bench tomorrow, if we're going to go and look at the bench tomorrow, and obviously I'll show you guys what I think the starting lineup is going to be going forward. But when you actually look at the bench, who do you think? What do you think is going to be? What's the word? What do you think, or who do you think is going to be on the bench? Who do you think is going to be on the bench? Like literally, like I'm thinking it now. Like, and you're thinking, it's got to be Palestri. It's got to be Elanga. It's got to be all the players that we think, what, are not good enough. Those are the players that are going to be on the bench. So I still expect, a comfortable performance at home against Leeds. Leeds, I mean, it's difficult. New manager bounce. You don't know, are Leeds going to sort of come back, and they're going to, now that the manager is sacked, they're going to now, I don't know. Are they going to basically come out and play? You don't know. You don't know about new manager bounce. So I think United do have to be a little bit concerned about that. But at the end of the day, at home, with the squad that we have, you'd think that we should still probably be able to beat Leeds. We still probably should be able to beat Leeds. Despite the circumstances, we should probably still be able to beat Leeds. That's what I think anyway. However, whether or not we do, it remains to be seen. It really, really remains to be seen. I just not 100% sure. I think it'll be difficult, basically. And when we go and I go for the starting 11, I just think that our subs, we're down to our last subs. I mean, it's good to see Dallo back. Obviously, you got Dallo and Wan-Bissaka in, and it's probably a good idea for Dallo to be more integrated into the squad. But at the end of the day, we've got one injury back, and 4 or 5 injuries gone. Like, it's not a bonus. We are down several key important squad players, and then need to step up. So let me just quickly move on. Make sure you like the vid, and subscribe. If you're new, please get involved if you can. Let me just have a look. Let me have a look. Yeah, let me scroll. So obviously, goalkeeping wise, it's going to be David De Gea. David De Gea in goal, no doubt about that. Abdulman says, "Who the hell is going to play in the middle of the park?" Well, we'll get to that. This is what I think is going to happen anyway. But we'll see. Centre back, obviously, it's going to be Varane and Lissandro. It's probably the only area of the field where we've actually got a lot of depth. A lot of Martinez's here. But yeah, this is the only depth we probably have in the squad, to be perfectly honest. At centre back, you've got Lindelof waiting in the wings, who potentially can. And this is the theory that I'm going to test, actually. In fact, let me just quickly change the formation a little bit. Yes. So yeah, Varane, Lisandro Martinez. Let me switch, because technically speaking, Lisandro Martinez is. Actually, that's fine. Right. Then obviously right back. This is going to be an interesting decision as to whether or not he decides to play Luke Shaw, or whether he decides to play Wan-Bissaka. I think that's the key thing. Is he going to play Wan-Bissaka, or is he going to play is he going to play Wan-Bissaka, or is he going to play Diego Dallo? Is he going to play Wan-Bissaka, or is he going to play Diego Dallo? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure. I'll be honest with you, I'm not I'm not 100% sure. I do think that with the fact that we play Leeds twice and then we play Barcelona, that you have to get Dallo in here somewhere. And what better way to integrate him into the team than at home to United? I think that if you're going away from him at Ellen Road, and maybe you might want to be a bit defensive, because it might be difficult, then possibly you play Wan-Bissaka. But for me, I would risk it, and I would play Dallo. I would play Dallo. It's a difficult one because he's not had a lot of game time, and this will also be true to another player. That's who I would play. Left back is straightforward. Luke Shaw, who's been okay. I think he could be better. Maybe he's tired, but see what happens. Ibis says Red Devil Qatar money baby. Well, so there is some breaking news apparently. Just have a quick look at Twitter. If we get Qatar money, so I'm having a quick look because I think someone did share a tweet with me from Mike Keegan, who's a verified from the Daily Mail, who so a bit of breaking news: Qatar-based investment group to bid for Manchester United would arm Ericsson with a few transfer kits imitating clubs to the top of the world. Excited by the point, come with their bid will be the strongest. Investors see United as football's crown jewels, aware of need to redevelop. They want to take club back to other place. Source says there's a steely determination to get the deal done. Very, 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 very interesting. Very interesting. I mean, this is coming from the Daily Mail, where I'm like, I don't have the best credibility, and I don't know how credible Mike Keane is. And then you have to ask the question, well, I mean, how many Qatari because isn't it PSG? Qatar, I'm just trying to think. Qatar, yeah, Abu Dhabi is City, Saudi is Newcastle. Yeah, Qatar is PSG. So in theory, can Qatar or Qatari group own PSG and United? Let someone tell me in the comments. Yeah, well, doing a little side gap, But yeah, with this breaking news about this Qatari involvement, source of disclosure group of private high wealth individuals based in the oil state. One potential. Okay, so here's what I said. One potential stumbling block is Qatar Sports investment ownership of PSG. One entity cannot own two clubs in the same company, and United PSG could meet in Europe. Exactly. The bid for United would come from separate individual Qatari investors. Okay. There is no interest in taking a partial stake, with only a full-blown takeover being discussed. Insiders have discussed that the group want to use the knowledge gained from hosting the World Cup and seek a new project. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think that obviously, so Jim Ratcliffe is involved, but I just think that, if I'm honest, I think that and Red Devil says it's a private investment fund. That's fair enough. Okay, it's fair enough. I just think that maybe if I see it from Fabrizio David Ornstein, I think I'll probably sort of take it more seriously. It's private. PSG, the country owns. Yeah. No, I get that. I just, a lot of what was in the article, I just feel, for me, it's just too good to be true. It's just way, 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 way too good to be true. Way, way, way too good to be true. I mean, I want it to be true, but it's just too good to be true. Like, you're talking about taking the club back to significant investing, Ten Hag, all the rest of it. It sounds like fan fiction. So either these guys are fans, actual fans, which would be great, fans of actual money to take United to the top, absolutely, or it's just fan fiction. And of course, there are people that are interested, but really they're just kind of cooking the goose, over exaggerating things. Personally, That's also what it could possibly be, in my personal opinion. But we'll see. Anyway, thanks for that, Ibs. Make sure you like the vid, by the way. But yeah, we shall see. We shall definitely see if this amounts to anything. Right. Okay. On to the end of the starting 11. So this is where things get interesting. Now, I think, and I'm interested to see what Ten Hag would do. I'm very interested to see what Ten Hag would do. I don't know what. Erhan, relax. Erhan, relax, man. Erhan, relax. She's not here. And she's not white. Just to put it out there. Anyway, I don't know who will play CDM. I think the logical choice is to play Sabitzer and Fred. There is a possibility that he uses Lindelof. Personally, I think with Leeds at home, I don't see why Sabitzer can't be enough. So I think that Sabitzer will probably play the more DM role, in my personal opinion. He's just come. He did have a cameo. Lindelof was obviously played there, but with his experience there and playing in that role, I just think that Sabitzer will probably go there. He's fit. He's ready. It's against Leeds. We're going to be much more open. I don't see any reason why he can't play there. Go with the safe option. Fred obviously comes in, and then you have Bruno, who obviously come in as well. These are basically the only fit defenders, the only fit midfielders that United have. Like I said, the only backup to this midfield is that you're now going to have to start playing Lindelof as a CDM. That has been used, and it's possible that, that if you're thinking, right, okay, if you need to take Fred off, you need to take Fernandes off, that you might have to bring in Lindelof. That is an option. I don't really know what other midfield. These are the only midfielders available. These are the only midfielders available. There's no other midfielders available, guys. Prosper says, good luck. Well, I hope so, buddy. I hope so. Thank you for watching on Facebook. I hope so. These are the only midfield players available. So, unless you're going to be talking about bringing in like Iqbal and Mainu and maybe, like I said, Lindelof as a thing. Like, I don't know, guys. I legit don't know. I don't think that, I don't know. I don't know. What's this? GG, HH voice, RDS. Good to see you're doing your thing. Yes, yeah, I do. I think a lot of people don't realize I actually do have my own separate YouTube channel called Red Devil Studio, where I do United-based content and other sort of stuff like that. So yeah, I always appreciate the ongoing support. I am trying to stream and do things regularly, lives, videos, etc. Trying to vary the content sometimes, but when you're a full-time doctor and running a YouTube channel, like, something has to give, So right now I'm sticking with lives, but we'll see what happens. I wish we had a cocaine Gallagher to just run, eat minutes, and caviars and CM and give Bruno. I mean, you could make a case that Fred is that, although I'd argue that Fred is more talented than cocaine Gallagher, in my personal opinion. But I'm saying you could make a case that Fred is that player. But yeah, I'm going to be very, very interested to see what the bench is for United. Because if we get an injury in the midfield to Sabitzer, Fred, Bruno, who comes on? And the only people that I can think of that will come on are Mainu, Iqbal if he makes the squad, and Lindelof as a CDM. So and you push Sabitzer further. That's an alternative. Like, that's literally it. The midfield. I don't think. I try to emphasize this. I don't think people realize the situation at Manchester with this injury crisis. Like, midfielders where you win games. Like, we have no alternative. I think people are like, yeah, it's Leeds. Yeah, okay. It's Leeds, but we're down to our bare bones. And these guys, we cannot play Sabitzer, Fred, and Bruno for 3 games straight. Playing Leeds back to back, and then Leicester, we're gonna lose. We're gonna drop points when it comes. If that's it, unless Ten Hag comes with some masterclass, we're gonna drop points. We might win the game at Old Trafford, fair enough, but away to Leeds, I'm not sure with this midfield. I'm generally not sure unless, like I said, Ten Hag comes with a masterclass and Lindelof balls and Mainu and Iqbal do their thing. I don't know. Yeah, Mainu and Iqbal, yikes, exactly. Throwing in the youngsters. And then, yeah, that's kind of peak. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, maybe Palestri can come in. I don't know. We are literally bare bones when it comes to midfield. And it is very, 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 very worrying. Very worrying in my personal opinion. Hopefully everyone can hear me, by the way. If you can't hear me, if there's any issues, please do let me know. Let me have a look. So up top, and this is when things get interesting. Now, obviously, Martial is injured again. The guy needs to be sold, man. I mean, I love the guy. Love Martial. He's skilled. He makes us play very differently, but he's getting injured too. But we haven't had him for 10 games straight. Like, people want to sell people. Like, there are people that want Fred sold, and I'm like, Fred is an average footballer. Okay, fine, but he's our fittest player. It doesn't matter to me how talented you are if you're not fit. Pogba is way more talented midfielder than any of our midfielders, and he's been out injured over the last 2 years. Availability is more important than ability, in my opinion. Availability is more important than ability, in my personal opinion. So, say what you will about Fred, at the end of the day, he's available. I can't think of times where Fred has actually been injured. I can't. I legit can't think of times. Bruno is the same. So Bruno and Fred are most fit midfielders. And Martial, who should be our main number 9, I'm sorry. Like, it's over. It's over. We just don't have that. He just doesn't have that in his locker. He really, really, really doesn't. I just, nah. Sorry, bro. Sorry, man. It's just not gonna work. So Martial probably has to go. And then I don't know. I mean, Key XXX. Shout out to a lot of people watching. Appreciate you guys in the comments, man. Would you be fine with Martial staying as a sub if Manu lowered his wages? No. Just because it's not even sub-wise, like KX. Like, he's not available. Like, he's just not available. He's not there. Like, it's it's not even about the wages. Like, you need to be available. Like, Weghorst has been more useful than Martial this season because he's been available. So you can't have a guy that, like, I'm probably count on my hand the amount of starts that Martial has had for United this season. We're on game 21, 22, and I can count probably on my one hand how many starts Martial's had in the league for United this season. Maybe maximum 5 starts. That's not good enough. Jesus, I don't get why fans this guy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm taking him over McTominay. Yeah, of course. I take Gordon over McTominay. There's so many players I would take over McTominay. But I think the reality is that in the transfer market, there's better. I mean, we have a player who's better, Sabitzer. Or Sabitzer, if I'm pronouncing it right. In my opinion, he's better than McTominay. He is better than McTominay. We actually have a player right now at a club called Sabitzer who is actually better, in my opinion, than McTominay. So but it is what it is. Yeah, so now right wing's injured because obviously Anstey's injured. And the question is, do you play Garnacho and Rashford, or do you risk it? And play Sancho? Do you risk it? And I think that's the kick. I mean, maybe I should put a poll in. In fact, I'll put a poll on it because just a poll. Thank you for the votes. People voted. People do think United will win, But I will put this to a poll. I'm interested to see what you guys will think. But do you think Sancho? Do you think Sancho or Garnacho? Because Rashford's going to start. Rashford is going to start. But the question is where? Is Rashford going to be on the left or the right? Because if Rashford is on the, if Rashford is starting and you're going to play Garnacho, then Garnacho will have to. Sorry, Rashford will have to go out right, and Rashford and Garnacho on the left. If Sancho starts, obviously Sancho will be on the right. And what do people think? He did have some game time against Forest. Do people think he's ready? Because I would be a little bit worried about that right-hand side if you have Sancho and Dallo. Our right-hand side will be very exposed, in my opinion, because you now got two players. Dallo's literally just come back. Now Sancho's come back. So you've got a right-hand side of players that have barely any game time, who are quite attacking but defensively weak. I think our right-hand side will be very exposed against that game. In my personal opinion, if you can only play Wan-Bissaka and Sancho, or Dallo and Rashford, but you can't play Dallo and Sancho. I think that's taking too much of a risk, in my personal opinion. Rashford has earned the right to choose where he plays. I agree, he's having a fantastic season. And we bought Sancho to play another right. We need to play the man. There's simple things. I mean, yes, but I mean, he's not played for months. Like, he's not, like, aside from that cameo against Forest in the game when we'd effectively won at Old Trafford, the dude's not played for months, and Dallas just come back from an injury. So I don't know, Gigi. I'd be a bit worried about. I'd be a bit worried about the lack of game time and fitness on that right hand side. So for me, if you're gonna play Sancho, you got to play Wan-Bissaka instead of Dallo. If you're gonna play Dallo, then probably play Rashford. So if I was Ten Hag, what I would probably do is I would play Wan-Bissaka and then I would play Sancho. In fact, I'm going to change that. That's what I'll do. Because Rashford's best on the left. So why compromise it? And also by doing that, you still have Garnacho to come on the bench. I think if we start with Garnacho and Rashford leave Sancho, I don't think Sancho will necessarily give you the impact. If Sancho flops, then you're like, right, okay, we tried it. It is what it is. We can bring on Garnacho and Rashford can go onto the left, or you can. You can't really push Bruno to can you push Bruno to the possibly? I don't know. So let me just change that. So I'm going to change this and put Wan-Bissaka there, who is playing very well, by the way, playing very, very well. Yeah, he's playing very well. I don't know what Ten Hag has done to Wan-Bissaka, but like, I am so glad we didn't sell Wan-Bissaka because he's been good. Aside from getting beaten at the post sometimes, he's been good. So left wing back, yes. So Rashford, and then right, I would start Sancho, man. I would start Sancho here. That's what I would do. So that is also, and to be honest, this squad is more than enough to beat Leeds. Okay, it is more than enough to beat Leeds. I mean, you could make an argument maybe Rashford go because of Leeds that play quite open. You could make an argument that you could probably drop Weghorst, just counterattack, and then just do we even need to play Weghorst in this game? With pressing. Personally, I don't think you necessarily need to bring Weghorst, but we'll see. We'll see. Let me have a look. Wan-Bissaka deserves to play all day. Yep, I agree. He's earned it. You can make a case. You can make a case for You can make a case for Rashford and Wan-Bissaka being number one now because of how much time. I mean, Dallo literally, the World Cup happened, and he got injured somehow, and he hasn't basically been back from the World Cup ever since. That's basically what happened. That's what happened with Dallo. And we haven't seen from him since. So literally the first half of the season, Dallo. Second half of the season has been Wan-Bissaka, and so far they've been even Stevens. Ilias says, Ilias has to pray for yeah, man. What's happening? The Turkey/Syria earthquake is actually a true tragedy. And my prayers are for all the Turkish people. And I just pray that the disaster relief, medics, everything will be sorted, and God will be with the rescuers who are trying to find survivors. It's a very, very tragic situation, and ultimately, human life is above sports, is above football. So yeah, absolutely, bro, absolutely. And prayers for your family as well, man. Prayers for your family as well. Elias United is a long-term subscriber and a supporter of this channel. So guys, so please keep him and your family in your prayers. He's a part of this community, and he supports the channel. So please, guys, support him. Ilya does say Rashford, Weghorst, Garnacho. Interesting. Okay, like so you can't play Garnacho on the right, so Garnacho would have to play on the left, and then you're basically saying Rashford would be on the right. Is basically what happened. Alternatively, and this is what I would do, because personally, I don't actually think we should. Like, if you want to go what I would do, I wouldn't even play Weghorst. I would actually just play Rashford through the middle, because I think the Leeds are going to be too open, not going to be defensive. They're going to come out. That's how they played. And I just think that we just counter-attack with them. Why not? We don't have to. Alejandro Garnacho is there. Yeah, he's there. No face, but he's there at least. And just counterattack them. We've got the pace with Garnacho, Rashford, and Sancho to run. I generally don't see why we can't, run at these guys and get the goals. We don't need against Leeds, even when we played them with Ollie and different managers. You don't need a striker to hold up the ball against Leeds at home at Old Trafford, really. Even though Weghorst is good at pressing, I just think that we've got players, we can run at them, we can cause them. Garnacho can dribble, Sancho can dribble, Rashford not can dribble but can score. Personally, this is what I would do. Against Leeds, although obviously you don't know how the assistant manager's going to play, but regardless, I bet us at Old Trafford, so that's what I would do. Even in the last, say, 10, 20 minutes, I bring on Garnacho and Alanga and play Alanga up front just for purely pace purposes. We all know pacing we can rely on. Yeah, exactly. It's what I'm saying. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I feel that we should start strong like this, with this pace up top, because if we start with runners first, I think we can overwhelm Leeds, get a few goals. We'll be at home. The crowd will be buzzing. Suddenly, United hopefully would be 3-0 up like they were and previous Leeds games. Morale goes, and then suddenly you can now, because I think one of the key things for me right now is the rest and rotation now. We can make 5 subs. We could make 5 subs. So if we can kill the earlier that we can kill off games, the more we can rotate and therefore prevent injuries. Right? So if you say go strong and say, right, okay, Garnacho, Rashford, Sancho, all these teams, this is our strongest 11, let's say in theory, okay, then you're like, cool, great. So now we're now 3 or 4 goals to the good. It's all good. You can now take off Rashford because he's played so many games. You can bring on a Weghorst. So there you go. You rested him. You can bring on Dallo to give him more game time for Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka's game, you can rest him. And then you can maybe bring on, depending on how badly the score is, you might bring on Lindelof for say a Fred, for example, or Sabitzer to give them rest, etc. So, but I feel like that's the best strategy. Kill the game off early on, and then take things from there. It is just Red Bull Studio Qatari wants to buy Manchester United. Oil me up. Oil me up, please. Oil me up, please. Oil me up. That's what people are saying. Gigi says brick. Yeah, I need to get brick drop emojis. My live's a little bit boring. Everyone has these gifts and stuff like that. So I need to sort of get the start getting those things, man. I need to start getting those things. I really do. I need to start getting them. Let me know what and how. But yes, what's the? I'm just trying to actually see it because I don't see. I don't see. There's not. There's essentially there's not a lot of talk about this United. This. Oh wait, no. Okay, Qatar. Okay. Let me just have a quick look. I'm looking at. I know. I think Don Hassam is crying. I think about this, but yeah, people are just talking about Qatari owners. It's from the Daily Mail. I mean, how? That's the thing. I mean, how reliable is this Daily Mail, man? You know, that's the key. You know, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Ayo, all me up, indeed. Anyway, let me quickly go to because I'm gonna start the round off the preview. Score predictions, and let me know what your score predictions are in the chat, guys. What do you think the score predictions are? Please let me know. Personally, for me, obviously that we're at home with this team, we should be winning this game. I don't think it'll be a clean sheet because Manchester United clean sheets, you know, do those things even go hand in hand? Well, actually, no. That's harsh to the team. That's harsh to the team. We actually have been a lot much better at keeping clean sheets, actually. So, I think that I'm still unconvinced we will, but with Rashford being on the fire that he is and Ganacho doing his thing, I'm quite confident to say that this will probably be at the very least. I'm going to go with 3-1. I'm going to go with 3-1 to Manchester United, 3-1 to Manchester United. And then obviously we'll do our away preview. We have to win. There's no doubt. In fact, just looking at the Premier League table, let's have a quick look at the Premier League table, guys. We'll look at the Premier League table. Look at the Premier League table. Right. So looking at the Premier League table standings. So obviously, Spurs, I think the only team that played all of their games actually. So they got 22, and Fulham, sorry. So we are 3 points behind. So Spurs are in the fight for top 4. Spurs are in the fight for top 4. Spurs are in the fight for top 4. They are in the fight for top 4, man. They're in the fight for top 4. So we need to bear that in mind. It says we need to win this game. Hamza, big up RDS. Thank you, Hamza, man. Thank you, guys for tuning in. J2S says, big up RDS. Thanks, J2S, man. Thanks. Oh, hashtag, yeah. Get that trending, man. Hashtag all me up. Hashtag all me up. We need those Qataris in, man. We need those Qataris in. Get the billions spent. Get the job done. Hashtag all me up, man. If we win, United will have 41. Yeah, so I mean, looking at the table, I said, get your score predictions in the comments, guys. We begin to round things up. I think just looking at the poll here, looks like it's fairly split. Like about 55% of you want Sancho to start, but 45% want Ganacho to start. So that is very interesting. I'm more. For me, it depends on who's at right back. If Sancho is playing at right wing, then Wan-Bissaka's got to be there. I just think it's a bad idea to have two players who have barely played any football for almost 2 months, in the case of Sancho more, to start on the right-hand side. I think that's suicide. I think that's suicide. Jato's Qatar, he's Liverpool for PR. Bro, I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. If these reports are keep in tune, and the thing is, I don't trust the Daily Mail, so I want to hear it from an Ornstein. I want to hear it from Fabrizio. I want to hear that news. But if we get that done, and Ten Hag and Ten Hag gets that money injected in, next season is going to be big. Next season is going to be big. But the thing is, we're talking about this season, and this season isn't over yet. And Ten Hag is in 4 competitions. And if we look at the Premier League table, guys, bro, United are in 3rd, only 3 points behind City. We've actually, they've only won 1 more game than us, in theory. We win against Leeds. We're on the same points as City. So we're 45 points, only 5 points behind Arsenal, although we have 2 games in hand over them. Now, the reality is that obviously City and Arsenal play this weekend. They have to win their games. But more importantly, City and Arsenal play each other next weekend. Okay, that is definitely key, So, and we play Leeds at the weekend. So if we can get the double Leeds twice, you end the week off with 48 points. And that is assuming that Manchester City, obviously, because at Manchester City, I think they play Villa at home, which would expect them to win. I expect City to beat Villa. I do. Although Aston Villa, I mean, if I look at Villa, let's have a just quick look at Villa. I think Villa starts to pick up a little bit of form. Well, they haven't really. A little bit. They beat Leeds, beat Southampton away, but then they got pimp slapped by Leicester City 4-2 somehow. Somehow they beat Spurs at home. I didn't quite understand that. So they're kind of here and there. I still think City will pimp slap them. So it is what it is. Arsenal have Brentford. I think they have Brentford at home, which will be difficult. And then they have City, So we'll see. We'll see. Big games ahead for Manchester United. Big games ahead. But I definitely think, certainly regarding the top 4 race, if United win their games against Leeds, then you can pretty much secure it, I would say. I think you're definitely not looking at Chelsea or Liverpool being threats to top 4. Really, the only threat, in quotes, is probably Spurs. And looking at this, to be honest, Brighton, I don't think Brighton will get it. But, I mean, they have 2 games in hand. So, in theory, Brighton could actually leapfrog ahead Spurs, Brentford, all these other teams. But, realistically, I don't think they're going to get it. And also, Newcastle look like they're dropping points as well. So, yeah, I think we just need to secure top 4 for next season is the goal of the season. Top 4 and a trophy. For me, Ten Hag's had a brilliant season. 4th place in the Carabao, I will take that. I will take that. But if you're going to give me more, if you're going to give me an FA Cup, if you're going to give me Europa, if you're going to give me a title charge, I ain't begging. I ain't begging. Let's have a look at this comp before I go. I'm a long time. I don't predict United games because I'm terrible when I'm saying United will win, will be a draw or lose. So I'm not going to predict anymore. Yeah, that's fair enough, Ilya. That's fair enough, Ilya. That is fair enough. That is fair enough. Jesus, eat it. Work is. I hope so. I hope so, bro. I hope so. I really, really do. I hope so. But you just don't know. You really, really don't know. I'm saying 3rd and 2nd trophies. 3rd and 2 minimum out, and 2 of the following. The FA Cup, Europa, and Karabuki. Okay, so basically you're saying 3rd place, 2 trophies minimum. 2. Like for me, at the beginning of the season, I would have taken 4th place and a trophy. Top 4 in the trophy. That's what I would have taken. So if we get that, for me, that's been a good season based on what happened in the previous season. Now, from where we are right now, then I would say a really good season is, again, top 4 but 2 trophies. So if you give me the Carabao and the FA Cup, a really good season is, you're telling me, 2nd place, again, give away 1 and 3 trophies. Karabuki, Europa, FA, with the squad that we have and the injuries that we have, and you're pushing for 2nd. That for me is a brilliant season, because we're talking about a United side that has been decimating the squad, that's not been supported by the board, and yet still under this manager has managed to win 3 trophies and finish 2nd. That is a miracle worker right there. And Ten Hag would do, even if I don't care if Arteta wins the league, you'd have to give the winner of the manager of the season to Ten Hag if he was able to do that, in my personal opinion. In my personal opinion. Lastly, City next game, Villa ends in and the Emirates. Yeah, exactly. Like they're gonna beat Villa. Like I'd be very, very, very surprised if City didn't beat Villa. So I anticipate the most important thing from is that at the end of the week, United and City need to be on the same number of points. That's what's key. Because we'll have a game in hand over them, sure. Okay, because we would have played, but then City and Arsenal's game in hand is next week, Wednesday. So for me, the key is I want United and City to be on the same number of points by the end of the week. Beating Leeds twice, and then City, yeah, they'll probably beat Thingy. Then next week when they play their game in hand, and it depends on what City or Arsenal. If Arsenal win, we'll be ahead. I don't know. So I look at City's next fixtures. Villa at home. They'll be in Arsenal away. I will give the dub to Arsenal maybe just for the simple fact that I think that at the Emirates they'll go for it. So I actually think Arsenal actually beat City there. Then they've got Forest away, which they should win. But Forest have been good at home. Leipzig, Bournemouth away, easy dub. Bristol City away, easy dub. And then Newcastle at home, which will be very, very interesting. Crystal Palace, where you'd expect them to win. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting next couple of games. Arsenal, likewise, have difficulties. I think they've got Brentford at home now. Arsenal, they've got City at home. Villa away will be fine. Leicester away, so yeah, it's the less second half of the season. It's going to be peak. It's going to be peak. We need a trophy. I don't care. Exactly. United have done so well so far this season that they need a trophy to, in my opinion, to really to solidify the success. Just something like that's why it was painful for Oli, because it was like you finished second in the league. Just have something to show for it. Win that Europa League, and you don't. So no matter how good you are, if you don't have something to show for it, it just doesn't feel the same. And United, it would be great for them to finally have something to show for their efforts. It would. So I'm gonna round up just a few last questions in before I end the stream. I don't think Arsenal will win against City. Yeah, I still think City are favourites. However, they're not playing that well, to be honest. And so I expect them to. I mean, look, if you actually look at the form, look at the form. Actually, look at the form here. Look at the form. So City have 3 wins in the last 5. United actually have better form than City. That loss was against Arsenal, and a draw, which was against Palace, which we should have won. Let's keep a stack. But our form is actually better. Arsenal's form is better. Newcastle's form, is worse because they've had 4 draws and they've won 1 win last 5. Although, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. And then, yeah. Even Brighton's form, they've got 3 wins and a draw, so, and then Brentford have won. That's why I say that. That's what I said, guys. I said Brentford at the weekend is going to be peak because Brentford, looking at the top, actually have the best form in the league. Brentford have the best form in the league, guys. Battling Southampton, Leeds, Brentford have the best form in the league, although they played a lot of low league teams and they drew with Spurs and Liverpool, but so it's not going to be easy, So yeah, City's forms has not been the greatest. Is the point I'm trying to make. Lastly, with Niall, big up, man. Thoughts on Man City, what punch will they get? Yeah, well, we are going to be doing a stream hopefully tomorrow. Well, I say tomorrow. Now, it's a Leeds game. So I've got to do a match reaction to that, annoyingly. So we might have to delay it until Friday, unfortunately. But ultimately, I'll just sort of say this: that at the end of the day, like it's it's not unexpected for City to be doing what they're doing. It's not unexpected. It's really not. And at the end of the day, they've got 100 charges against them. I still think they'll somehow be able to bypass them, but the Premier League have been investigating this for 4 years now, so it's a bit odd. It's a bit odd. It'd be a bit odd for nothing to happen when. How can you spend 4 years investigating something only for nothing to happen? It just doesn't make sense to me. Let's have a look at Comso. Will Smith to be a big success Manchester. Well, we'll see, because as this formation shows now, you know, he's got to start, because that's all our midfield options. Unless you're now having to rely on youngsters, i.e. Iqbal and Mainu, or Lindelof as a makeshift CDM. You know, we don't have a choice. I can't announce fans because I don't know them to win the league. Well, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Shout out to Chainsaw Man. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Chainsaw. I feel bad because I've not done any stuff for Red Marvel in ages. I actually just want a day where I do it, but I've got one final exam to prepare for and I've got to go hard. So all I can promise everyone on this channel is that, God willing, from the end of March onwards, I should hopefully have more evenings, more time to just do videos and content on this channel, on Red Marvel and stuff like that. I want to hopefully get a new laptop, new desk book, a new office space, just a whole new thing to really kind of dedicate more effort to it. So, but we'll see what happens, you know. We'll see what happens. And you can actually fund that by becoming a member. If you want to be a member of the channel, then let me know, guys. Let me know, because I am wanting to try and add more membership perks and stuff like that, but I need more advice from you guys. I can't do this full time as of yet, even though I would love to do this full time. But yeah, it'd be great. Also, shout out to Chainsaw, who's actually been a member for 13 months. As you can see by his icon, he's been a member for 13 months, man. Thank you so much for your ongoing support, Chainsaw. I really do appreciate it, actually. I do. I really do. Which is why we need to do more Red Marvel stuff. Can Arsenal now win the title, says Niall? Yeah, of course they can. Of course they can. Of course they can, because it's simple. If Arsenal beat City home and away, they won the title, in my opinion. They have. If like, for me, City need to beat Arsenal home and away. They need to beat Arsenal both times. And, you know, to keep it a stack, City only played a weekend. Well, it was only 1-0 at the Etihad, and that was the FA Cup. City need to get the dub. Oh, because when you look at the table, you've got to remember, Arsenal have that game in hand over City right now. If they beat Brentford the weekend, and Villa, well, they'll still have the game in hand. But the point is that if they lose to City, they'll be, and assuming Arsenal beat Brentford and City beat Villa at the weekend, Arsenal will be 8 points clear of City. I don't think that at this, it's not impossible, but, you know, I just don't think at this point in the season, is that surmountable? I don't know. It's not impossible, especially with Europa League and Champions League fixtures and injuries and stuff. But given the fact that we're seeing City also dropping points, you know, they've had 4 losses this season already. You know, and United have had 5, and 3 of those losses came at the beginning of the season against City, Brighton, and Brentford. So since then, they've only had 2 losses, and that was against, I think, Arsenal and recently, and was it Villa? It might have been Villa. I can't remember. When was the last time we lost before Arsenal, which we should have drawn? Who was it, actually? Yeah, it was Villa. Stupid Villa. But it is what it is. So you're now, yeah, of course, Chainsaw. Of course, Chainsaw. I know 100% you guys are beating Madrid. I know 100% that Liverpool Football Club are beating Real Madrid. I know 100% that Liverpool Football Club are finishing fourth and beating Real Madrid. And Darwin Núñez will drop a hattie. There, I said it. Liverpool, yeah, good luck with them. Thank you. Arsenal just need a 2 draws or 1 win is enough. Yeah, exactly. Like for me, if Arsenal beat City next week, it's over. Because you still need to make up the difference of 8 points, and City still have to go. United have played Arsenal twice, so it's fine. But City will still have to play Arsenal again at the Etihad. They still have to play Newcastle at the Etihad. They have to play. I think they have to play Chelsea. They have to play Liverpool. They have to play Brighton. So there's still some tough games that you suspect that they may potentially drop points, as we saw when they went away to Spurs just now. And their away form against the top teams has not been that great. They lost to United. They lost to Spurs. Newcastle, they drew. So I don't think they've won an away game against any of the top 4, top 6 this season. So, away to the Emirates, you don't know. Liverpool going championship, well, we'll see. James, the artist, what's your go-to thing coming outside of football, bro? That's a good question, Chainsaw Man. Outside of football, outside of work, jeez. I would say it's I watch a lot of YouTube videos, bro. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, bro. I watch a lot of history videos. I try and dip in a bit of anime, but even then, I'm not big anime stuff. A lot of YouTube series and TV series and stuff like that, just to sort of unwind. Literally, when I finish the stream, I'm gonna cut the stream and then basically go and just relax and sort of de-stress. I think the new Ant-Man movie is coming out next week, so sometimes I can watch the movies if I can, and then socializing with friends. YouTube videos, because TV, it would be TV, but there's nothing good on TV anymore. So that's what I do. That's what I do. We didn't. When did we lose to you this season? I don't think I think what happened was that we beat you at Old Trafford, and I think that we're playing you in about 2 weeks' time. And apparently, Liverpool are the favourites to beat that game. Would beat United at Anfield. So fair enough. We will preview that. Red Devil Studio. Well, I hope so. Especially if those allegations are correct from City. How should you? And I've annual leave this too. Yeah, bro. I've been on annual leave for a bit with the lady friends. So that was good. That was good. That was very, very good. And I play so much basketball. Right. Okay, guys. I'm gonna have to round off the stream, man. So thanks for everyone who's actually getting involved. I really appreciate it. It always makes the streams easier when there are people in the comments interacting, getting involved. The community, it's big, and I'm trying to make it a bigger and bigger community. And hopefully this year kicks off. My goal is still to get to 5K subscribers. Help me out, guys. Let's get to 5K subscribers, please. It'd be great. And hopefully, at the end of March or whatever, I might actually. I think from the beginning of next season, I'll probably start to do watch longs. I'll have a lot more time. So watch longs will come from the beginning of next season or towards the end of this season when it comes to the finals and stuff like that are around. I may do a watch long for the Carabao Cup final. We'll see. Definitely on Twitch, but we'll see. And Núñez double to Antony. Absolutely Chainsaw. Absolutely. Núñez, who has less goals than Firmino. We'll see what happens. As Yada said, hit the like button, guys. Push me to 5K, please. Take care, everyone. Peace.